The Property Casualty Insurers Association of America announced its new board chair during the PCI Annual Meeting here in Boston. Bob Restrepo, Chairman, President and CEO of state auto insurance companies out of Columbus, Ohio, takes over the role from John Michael, Chairman and CEO of RLI. We spoke with the incoming chairman in Boston for his views on the hot topics at the PCI meeting this year, the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy, and the major issues and priorities he sees for PCI in the year ahead.
Well, the hot topics I've heard all revolve around property insurance. What are the market conditions, changing regulatory environments, new capital coming in to provide catastrophe reinsurance coverage. Property insurance seems to be the main headline. The positive lesson we learned from Superstorm Sandy was the opportunity to really demonstrate once again how effectively we handle claims, both from a technical standpoint as well as from a human standpoint. On the negative side, we learned how politicized property claim handling can become, particularly as it relates to wind versus flood from a coverage standpoint. And the other thing we've learned is the inconsistency of the many different hurricane deductibles and how they're explained to the consumer. So going forward, a big lesson we've learned from Superstorm Sandy is that we've got to do a better job communicating deductibles and in a way that consumers can understand. Well, we think we've made a lot of progress with the Terrorism Reinsurance Act this year. Both houses of Congress in Washington have held preliminary hearings, which is frankly a little bit ahead of what we expected. So we think we're going to make substantial progress towards reauthorizing the Terrorism Reinsurance Act in 2014, and we think we'll make substantial progress this year. I wouldn't characterize the regulatory situation worldwide as overreach as much as misunderstanding. What our concern is that the regulatory reaction is a reaction to a banking crisis, not an insurance crisis. And as one of the speakers said today, I think the banks could have learned a lot from the insurance industry and how well regulated we are and how well capitalized we are. Well, the big factors of growth in our industry are the economy, the pricing environment, and investment income. And I think the greatest threats that we have from a growth standpoint is the ability to get price, the ability to anticipate a recovering but slowly recovering economy, and the fact that interest rates are at all-time low, and that affects our investment income. So I expect we're going to see growth over the next couple of years, but it'll be modest, constrained by pricing competition, continued low interest rates, and a slowly recovering economy. Our major priorities of PCI over the next couple of years, again, revolve around property insurance, making sure that we're well positioned to reauthorize the Terrorism Reinsurance Act next year, making sure that the recently reauthorized National Flood Insurance Program isn't overly compromised. We have sticker shock with a lot of consumers out there about flood insurance, and also making sure the deductibles and other risk management techniques that we have in place to mitigate undue damage to our balance sheets from coastal storms aren't compromised.
For more of our coverage of the PCI Annual Meeting in Boston, Massachusetts, visit the WRIN-TV On Demand Library.